Welcome everyone. My name is Kenneth Kam. I'm a forex trader, and let me tell you a story that happened 2 years back. I am what they call a banana. Banana means yellow on the outside, white on the inside. That means I don't really speak Mandarin. My first language is English, okay, like most Singaporeans. So what happened was 2 years ago, my relatives from Australia, they actually migrated from Singapore to Australia, and they kept in touch with us in the WhatsApp. So they are Singaporean Chinese. So in the WhatsApp, they put all sorts of video clips, and one of the video clips that they put was very interesting. It was Fei Yiqing and Karen Mok's MTV music video of this song called Tang Ni Lao Le. So I listened to the song and I felt, hey, very meaningful. And the Chinese was simple enough for me to understand. So I said, okay, I am 50, going to be 50. I think I owe it to myself to at least learn one karaoke Chinese song and learn some Chinese eventually, right? So I took some effort, got a Chinese tuition teacher, got a singing teacher, and decided to put some effort, a few hours a week, that kind of thing, to go and learn this Chinese song. And then at the end of the year, 2 years ago, I sang it to my mother, and she was very happy. And being a perfectionist, that wasn't enough, okay? I felt that just singing to my mother during her birthday wasn't enough. What was my standard? My standard was, if Karen Mok can do an MTV, I can also do an MTV. So I hired an MTV producer, got Singapore's most famous violinist, Eileen Shah, invited her to play for me, and she invited an orchestra, and we got some calafare, which is part-time actors, to act out a moving scene. And I got Singapore's top MTV producers, Roxette Vid, to do this MTV video. So I'm going to play this video to you, and maybe you can get to know me a bit better.
Tang ni lao le, 头发白了，睡意昏沉。当你老了，走不动了，炉火旁打盹，回忆青春。多少人曾爱你青春欢畅的时辰，爱慕你的美丽，加以我珍惜。只有一个人还爱你虔诚的灵魂，爱你苍老的脸上的皱纹。当你老了，眼眉低垂，灯火昏黄不定，风吹过来，你的消息 这就是我心里的歌。
And I got a more handsome actor to act as me.
"祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐。"生日快乐，妈妈。
多少人曾爱你青春欢畅的时辰，爱慕你的美丽，加以我珍惜。只有一个人还爱你虔诚的灵魂，爱你苍老的脸上的皱纹。当你老了，眼泪低垂，等我昏黄不离。当我老了，我真希望这首歌是唱给你的。
This is my real mother. Confirmed DNA 100% the same because when she smiled and I smile, cannot see the eyes.
妈妈，爸爸，这首歌是唱给你们的，希望你会喜欢。
Hope you enjoy. Thank you so much. Okay, so I believe in filial piety, and that's why I sung this song. Okay, and most of you can figure it out that I sing this song during my presentation to wait for latecomers. Okay, so let's go on with the presentation. Let me explain to you what I did when I was young. This was a photo I had when I just dropped out from Singapore Polytechnic in 1990. So 1990, they had personal typewriters, not personal computers, because it was before PCs. So I had this Canon Typestar 2 personal typewriter, and I had to type for jobs and everything. And the first job that I got was in McDonald's. I was a French fries specialist in McDonald's. So in Clementi McDonald's, right? So I did French fries there. But after a couple of months of doing it, I felt very disillusioned because I dropped out from Polytechnic and I was doing McDonald's. And I was feeling very down. I was feeling that, drop out of Polytechnic means being a French fries expert for the rest of my life. Then my mom said, don't worry, son, go out to the market and see what the market throws at you. So I said, okay, I will try and explore what is available in the market. So I took the Straits Times newspaper, you can see here, and I started looking for a job, another job. And one particular advertisement that came out was a commodity advertisement. It says, earn thousands a day, be a commodity trader. And I said, wow, I don't know what is commodity about, but I want to earn thousands a day. So I put up my hand and said, I want to be a commodity trader. So I took out my Oxford dictionary and I started finding out what is commodity. And I found out that commodity was basically coffee, sugar, soybean, pork belly, orange juice, gold, and silver, traded in the Chicago Mercantile Exchange in New York. So as a commodity trader, life was very interesting. And I remember I had to go to Tanjong Pagar International Plaza, go for interview, become a commodity trading intern. At that time, can you remember 1990s? There was no such thing as computers, or computer wasn't that popular because it was expensive. So what happened was, there was one computer, but it was a number taker. The number taker piped in number from Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and what we did was we had to use our pencil, ruler, and rubber, and roll out our graph paper and started plotting graphs. That was how traders traded 30 years ago, okay? Dinosaur days, before computers. So that was how I learned to become a trader. Pencil and ruler method. And that was our technical analysis. For fundamental analysis, what we did was we watched TV. We watched Bloomberg and Reuters, and we analyzed what was going on, and together, the sum total of all our technical and fundamental analysis, we will come up with a trading solution, and that's how we traded. Okay. Today, the trading is almost the same. The only difference is we have powerful computers to do the charting for us, but people still make mistakes, right? So old men like me, we tend to make less mistakes because we know how difficult to get the data. And then I became became a forex trader in late 1990s. But my mom pulled me aside. He said, "Son, tell me the truth. Are you a gay?" I said, "Why all of a sudden you ask me whether I am a gay or I'm straight?" She said, "Papa, Mommy has been observing you. You are now mid-20s. How come up to now still no girlfriend?" I said, "Yeah, very easy. Singapore, we need 5 Cs. I don't have. Certificate, car, condo, cash, and credit card. All I don't have." So I said, "That's why I can't get a girlfriend." Then she said, "Like that, you better plan for yourself. Government giving property, it's called HDB. And the only way to get HDB is through CPF. So you better go and work for someone." So through my mom's encouragement, she encouraged me to work for someone else. So in the middle of the 1990s, when I was trading part-time, I had to have a full-time job. So I became a marketing professional for 19 years from the middle of the 1990s. So today, I am blessed with top of the market kind of marketing and branding is because I have been a marketing professional for 19 years, right? Since 6 years ago. So what happened was, when I was a marketing professional, my salary as a marketing professional went up and up and up. And I was at the top of my career. Then 45 years old came, right? I was 45 years old. That was 6 years ago. And when I was 45 years old, I was retrenched because my salary was too high. My boss was basically looking at me and saying, "Walao, I pay you so high salary. Every 6 o'clock you go back home," versus this young lady who just came out from the university, 1/4 of her salary, and she can do overtime some more. So I was naturally retrenched. And I had to fend for myself. Not easy, 45-year-old with a family and no job. I applied 1,500 resumes. Nobody in Singapore even wanted to reply. "So sorry, you have not got the job." So it was a very dark time for me. I even had difficulty putting food in my mouth. But I didn't give up. I wanted to prove to my family that I am a survivor. So what I did was I applied for jobs outside of Singapore. I applied for a job in Hong Kong. I applied for a job in Bangkok. Didn't quite like Hong Kong. I don't like the surrounding there. And eventually I got a job in Bangkok. So when I flew to Bangkok, I had an interview. My ex-boss in Bangkok basically was very happy that I wanted to work for him. So this was actually the photo that I had with my staff in Bangkok. You can see all of them shorter than me because this is by genes. We are blessed by good genes, Singaporeans. So all the girls are all shorter than me. And this was the day I left them. So I worked in Bangkok for less than a year. And but they treated me well, but they gave me 50% discount on my salary because the cost of living wasn't too high. The reason why I could still survive at 50% discount on my salary was the cost of living in Bangkok was 3 to 5 times less than Singapore, right? So I could even slowly recover to save. So this was during the farewell party they had after I worked there for less than a year. And the reason why I left them was the same reason why I couldn't find a job in Singapore. I felt that my salary was getting higher and higher, and it wasn't competitive, and it wasn't sustainable for my boss to keep giving me high salaries. And I said, I better think of myself, because if I continue 1 or 2 years, I will still be retrenched in Bangkok. And then by that time, even harder to find another opportunity. So while working in Bangkok, I had plan B. What was the plan B? I thought maybe I should be an entrepreneur. I should perhaps open a restaurant, a massage parlor, or a mobile shop. So I did some business planning, marketing, right? So I did some business planning, marketing planning, and I analyzed the whole situation. I said, open restaurant, very difficult. I got to wake up 3 a.m., go to the market at 4, set up at 5 a.m., get the vegetables and meat, and make sure everyone, and get my hands oily. That is if I were to open up a restaurant. And if I open up a massage parlor, a legal one, I got to deal with the masseuse, and I got to perhaps deal with the massage industry. Not the best kind of career to have, right? And I thought maybe mobile shop, very clean, very easy. But when I dig deeper into it, I realized, wow, I need to keep inventory of all the iPhones 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it keep changing every year. And then the accessories and everything, I need to stock up a lot. And then the covers and everything, it was messy. And the staff in Thailand wasn't really honest. I got security camera and everything. Every 200 baht they take, they put $50, 50 baht in the pocket. I can see it, but can't do anything, right? So I felt it was difficult, right? So, and then it occurred to me, Kenneth, why don't you start trading full-time? Because I was trading part-time for 22 years. I said, okay, I was actually trading part-time for 22 years, and trading seems to be the easiest way to transit to become an entrepreneur. So I said, okay. So when I left them, I took out my laptop, bought an external monitor, with a piece of paper and a calculator. I started my trading. I took out 10,000 of my savings, and I started trading. Later on, you can see the results and everything. And life was pretty good, right? So my profitability went up and up and up, and every day was a very boring day. So I had to disturb my Facebook buddies by taking a photo and telling them I'm still around, So this is one of the photos I did. And sometimes I will show you my thumbs up. And depending on how I feel, I may show you my breakfast, right? And then I upgraded my studio in Bangkok to be a 1-bedroom condo. So this is a 1-bedroom condo. You can see the bed there. And I upgraded my screens to become 27-inch LED monitors. And this is how I operated 6 years ago. I normally don't wear suit when I trade. This is for photographs. And then I upgraded to a 3-room condo in Bangkok. These were just some of my friends and supporters who came to say hi to me during my trading station visits. And life was pretty good. And then my Singaporean client grew. And as they grew, I was called back to Singapore regularly. I had to fly back maybe 3-4 days a month. Because I've already sold off my flat and everything. So to meet them, I had to live in a hotel. So I started meeting my clients in a hotel lounge, and then upgraded to become a Hilton Executive Lounge. We did this for more than 2 years, almost 2 years. And the reason why my clients continue to support me and visit me was because I think we serve good food, right? So, but can you imagine last time and now, when I did my presentation and pitching in Hilton Hotel, I had to sit down in a sofa and quietly whisper to you, because at the back we got other people. And I had to do it many, many times in a day, because each session was 1.5 hour session. And it lasted for 3 days, okay? Today, I'm happy to let you know that we have consolidated all this meeting into a session like this. So one session, 50 people, Kao Tim, okay? So it was a better way to do it, and that's how we evolve our meetings. And then, after 2 years of operating in Hilton Hotel at the Executive Lounge, my cost went up, because the lethargy also came into play, because can you imagine, I had to pack to go to Hilton in Singapore, unpack, do my presentation many hours, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, and then pack, and then unpack back in Bangkok. So during that 4 days, I can barely trade, I can barely be a trader. So, and I had to pay for hotel fee. To get Executive Lounge, you got to be in a suite and above. So the hotel fee came up to be, I think, more than 3,000 a month, right? So, and then one of my friends told me, Kenneth, since your hotel fee is 3,000 a month, why don't you just get a condo in Singapore? You know, the rent should be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,000 a month, you know? That will save you airfare, that will save you transportation, you can keep your suits here, you don't have to pack and unpack. I said, oh, that's a good idea. So, early 2016, I decided to look for a residence in Singapore. So I went to Sentosa, check out Kapala area, you know, wanted to live by the sea, check out the Caribbean area at Havelock, Tanjung Teluk Blangah area, but felt it was more family orientated, and then checked out the Sail at the Marina Bay area. And I felt that the Sail was a pretty good place to get a condo. So I managed to get a condo at the Sail. So this is my 1-bedroom condo at the Sail. It's just a small little condo, but it was double the price of my Bangkok condo. So while I had my Bangkok condo 3-room flat, I had my 1-bedroom flat in 1-bedroom condo in the Sail at Marina Bay. And this is some photos that we did. Okay, and I wrote the book called The Equilibrium. This is a very significant photo. Let me explain to you why. This is a space I had at the Sail at Marina Bay. You can see this is my kitchen, this is my living room, this is my dining room. There are 8 tables over here, and this is my trading area, and I have to stand at my bedroom to take this photo. So you can see how small and squeezy it was. But this was how I grew my portfolio, right? Basically for the last 2 years, and I'm still living there. And of course, some people told me, kind of, your portfolio already now just past 37 million. I think I deserve at least a 3-bedroom condo. I said, okay. So I've already got a 3-bedroom condo, and we're going to upgrade soon. So they're trying to renovate it. So this is how we came about more than 2 years ago. And I've just renewed the lease. Okay. In 2016, I started using the premise for my presentation and everything, sitting in the sofa 1-to-1, 1.5 hours each session. And that's how we did the monthly client meeting. And my portfolio went from 10,000 6 years ago to cross 10 million, right? In 2016. And then 2016, I decided that, hey, if I continue to grow like that, one day I will have a portfolio that is too big for me to handle personally. So I think I better plan for contingency. I better plan to become something. So I didn't know how I could do it. So I gathered a few of my friends and supporters and clients. And they sat down with me and they gave me some advice, and they plan out what I can be. So as a private trader, I found out I can become a private fund in Singapore, but I had to register private limited and get the MAS licensing. And from a private fund, I can become a hedge fund. a hedge fund where my product will be found in all the banks and financial institutions and so on and so forth. And then I can become the pension fund for this world. So if you read my books, my magazine, my blogs, my literature, you will know that my mission and vision in life is to become the pension fund for this world. So that was a very focused thing that I wanted to do. So I started to talk to more people, and the very important thing to start off a private fund was I had to recruit people, set up a company, get talents in and all those things. So, and then people started joining me. So in 2017, this is 2018, 2017, we started recruiting people. And I became 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I had meetings in my bedroom like that. And once it went more than 7, 8, 9 people, some of them complained they got to sit on the floor. That was a good thing, because when I was expanding so fast, I told them, go and look for an office. So I'm very happy to let all of you know, as of October last year, we finally found an office which is also at the sale. And this is a Soho kind of a setup, 16-seater conference room with 12 trading stations. And it's not meant for clients, it's basically meant for my own portfolio. So it's known as a family office, okay? And we operated from here, okay? And let me just show you a video of our office opening in October last year. So if you can see some famous faces in the video, basically my office opening was supported by top bankers, top lawyers, and top industry players, right? So they came to wish me well. And then problem came because 16-seater condo, 16-seater conference room was too small. Remember, I was meeting my clients 1-to-1, and then I upgraded to 1-to-16. And my clients keep complaining, hey, Kenneth, I want to see you, I must book 3 months in advance. Then I told my team at the end of the year, after using the conference room for 3 months, that we should explore perhaps a bigger venue like Tower Club, right? So now it's 1-to-50, no problem, right? And we can have a few sessions a month. So this is how it looked like early this year. So it means that after this, if you are happy with me, I will continue to give you a free book. So if you smile at me, I'll autograph the book. And I had many successes, monthly client meetings, which I call it Triple K, knowing Kenneth come, right? And I hosted some dignitaries and VIPs at the office, including Jane Constant, which is UNESCO Artist for Peace. She was the winner of the French television competition called The Kid's Voice. She's actually a blind girl born in Mauritius. Yeah, she's a famous UNESCO Artist for Peace. And then I wrote and published a book called The Equilibrium. Now it's on its 2nd edition. And I had the opportunity to be interviewed on ZTV, which is an Indian channel. ZTV is broadcast over 13 countries, and they have 9 million viewers worldwide. And I launched the book, The Equilibrium, last year in February. And I was featured in this magazine called Wanderlust, which is a Thai magazine for expatriates. And I felt it was pretty good exposure for me. And I said, hey, why don't I have my own magazine? So I have my own magazine called Ken Magazine, which is in the goodie bag on your chair. You might ask me, why do I have my own magazine? It's because I'm a financial professional. I'm not allowed to advertise. So the only way that I'm able to communicate to my friends, my clients, my supporters is I put my philosophies, my values, my thinking in the magazine, and I mail it to you, and then you can enjoy. If you're not my Facebook buddy, you can still know what I'm doing. And I came up with the second volume of Ken Magazine, and I went to New York to take photos. This is the Equilibrium book, right? Let me show you some, okay. This is how the magazine looks like. I'm sure you can have a look at it inside, right? Your goodie bag. And this is the second magazine. So yeah, I was crazy enough to take photo with this bull. So this is a trader's thing. You might not know and understand and appreciate why we are so crazy enough to go and want to take a photo with this bull, but this bull means a lot to me because I'm a trader. The bulls and the bears, kiki lolo up and down. So this has meaning to me. Okay, but mean nothing to you. Never mind. Okay, okay. And I wrote this book, second edition. So you can see a lot of testimonies. And the Changhua version is ready. So if any one of you got Chinese speaking clients and want a copy of it, you can ask my staff. They can get a physical copy of it to you. And because I lived in Thailand for the last 6 years, I must have a Thai version, right? So I do have a Thai version ready, and we are almost ready for the second edition print ready. In Thailand, I'm a famous they call it a forex celebrity. I'm always on their media. They always want my opinion on what happened to Bitcoin, what happened to cryptocurrency, what happened to currencies and this and that, because forex trading is illegal in Thailand. So they always get a foreign expert to talk about all this. And if you search on the YouTube, you can see that I was on their media regularly, right? Okay, and I was invited to France, Paris, in December last year to speak in a climate change conference with UNESCO. And I thought, yeah, why don't I launch my French version? So this is the French version, right? So been busy. And for those audio visual problem people, I have the audio version.
The Equilibrium by Kenneth Cam, narrated by Paul Ewing.
Okay, it's a bit too loud, but it's okay. And for those who wants to download this Audible version, you can go to Audible and download it. I think it's at less than $10 US. This is my name card. And I'm happy to let everyone know the second book is ready. It's called The Success Manifestos, right? So, but it will not be given for free. This one, if you want, you buy. So it looks like that. It's a very nice gold book. And we actually came up with a third book project, which is called the K book, The Adventures of Young Kenneth Cam. So I actually drew myself as a cartoon and presented myself as a manga cartoon. Why? Because I want to reach out to the millennials, right? Because I feel that they are learning too much rubbish from the internet. Okay. And I want to show you a video of my condo in Hong Kong. So this was a video I did one day before my Facebook Live interview with Kun Po Patarapon. So this is the multi-million-dollar view in my condo at Harborside, Hong Kong. And Kun Paul is actually a very famous Thai actor when he was younger. So if you're Thai, this person is very well known to you. So he flew to Hong Kong and interviewed a Singaporean, and we did it in English. So it was a weird situation, but we did a Facebook Live interview. And this Facebook Live interview was recorded in my Facebook page. You can go and have a look. Right? Very handsome man, huh? Okay. This is my product, the service that I give, the 3% a month. How many of you have not seen this? Put up your hand. Oh, then you're not supposed to be here. This is was broadcast in the three-way group chat, And just in case you are not paying attention, we also email it to you, right? So if you didn't get the group chat, you didn't get the email, then how in the world are you here, right? So you must have been not paying attention. So please go and have a look at what's in the group chat and in the email. So this basically shows you the two products that I do. I do 3% monthly payout, right? So if you put 100,000, you get 3,000 a month. And I do 3% monthly compounded, right? So this is the monthly payout and monthly compounded. This is only for accounts originating from Singapore. That means if you have a Singapore account, I can do 3% with you, no problem, okay? But if your account is from an overseas account, for example, Thailand, Hong Kong or whatever, so sorry, I can only do 2% a month. Let me give you the reason. Reason is because of the bank transfer charges. If I'm supposed to transfer to you on a monthly basis from Singapore to a foreign bank, there will be hefty bank charges, right? So someone has to cover that. And there is a currency fluctuation, right? So Singapore dollar, Hong Kong dollar, Singapore dollar to Thai dollar, Thai baht, there is a currency fluctuation. So I think on the safe side, it's better I keep it 2%. And it's illegal to do anything more than 2% in Thailand because the law there do not allow anyone giving more than 2% a month, right? Okay, so these are the videos that I did on ZTV, but I don't have to play it now. You can, of course, see the ZTV video in your own sweet time because it's already emailed to you. But I want to play this video, which is the opening for the monthly client meeting. All right, so let's have a look.
Hi, my name is Kenneth Khan. I'm here to share with you my success story and my winning strategy. I'm a full-time private forex trader who lives in Singapore. Though I enjoy spending time at my holiday home in Bangkok and in Hong Kong, the secret behind my winning formula has helped many enter the world of trading. My portfolio has grown multiple times since I started trading full-time. I've spent years mastering the art of trading, and it is my pleasure to share with you my journey and my success story. Trading provides me with financial freedom so that I have the time and ability to care for my friends and family. My success in trading are the mastery of mindset that allows me to overcome fear, greed, and pride, the ability to manage risks, and the understanding of the power of mathematical compounding. I decided to devote myself full-time to forex trading and even devise my own capital appreciation strategy. I set aside 10,000 from my personal savings for trading, and now I have a sizable portfolio that anyone can be proud of. Forex trading is widely understood to be based on buying low and selling high to reap the maximum profit and returns. Like most traditional traders, I do manual trading. I study the conclusions of both my fundamental and technical analysis before making any decisions. I do not outsource or copy my trades. As a conservative trader, I do not do additional leverage. I feel that leverage is like gambling. Leverage is using multiples of your portfolio to trade. If you win a lot, but if you lose a lot too. And you still owe the banks and financial institution multiples of your account. I don't do leverage because it is risky. The second thing I don't do as a conservative trader is that I don't do margin trading. Margin trading is using 100% of your portfolio to look for 100% gain. Margin trading is risky because of market volatility. My trading strategy is fractional trading. Fractional trading is the strategy of using a fraction of your portfolio to look for a fraction of profit. And that is why I consider myself a traditional and conservative trader. Each month, I will usually encounter 20 to 25 trading sessions. One trading session can be one trade or up to a few hundred trades. Depending on the market situation, you can have one or many trading sessions in a day. In each trading session, I aim to lock in a profit of 0.5%. The potential profit works out to be 25 multiplied by 0.5%, which is 12.5%. If it is a good month, potential profit can even be higher. The actual results will vary because of market situations. My dream is to become the pension fund for the world. The first reason is that there is money to be made there. It's a $1 trillion market. When I achieve my dream, my product will be found in all banks, financial institutions, and insurance companies. The second reason is personal. I suffered an economic crisis when I was 45 years old. My saving dwindled because I lacked a job. In my opinion, if someone has savings, those savings should save him, rather than become depleted. This is when I learned how to reap constant returns through trading. I plan to develop this product so that the rest of the world can enjoy constant returns on their savings as well.
Okay, so this ends the first part of our presentation. I will now go through the second part of the presentation, which includes a show and tell of my trading portfolio and trading results. Okay, it's a bit small, can you see? So if you have a look at my June trading portfolio, this is my trading journal. I consolidated on Friday, yesterday. My trading portfolio now stands at 37.1 million Singapore dollars. So you can basically see that I am a mathematical trader. I'm using the formula of expectancy to manage my profit and loss. So you can see that there is, out of 11 trading sessions, I got 1 loss and 10 profits, right? So there's no such thing as every trading session is a profitable trading session. I am a trader, I'm not a magician. So this is, I don't apologize for it, but this is the reality. So I do suffer losses. I do suffer loss on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, but because I am a smart trader, I try to consolidate my profit and loss in such a way that at the end of the month, I stay profit. And that's the game of trading, right? So this is how I do it. You can see there are profits and losses all stated here. And I want to highlight this particular column called the compounded gain. I start with 0, and then from my daily gain, I plus and minus accordingly. If it is a minus gain, then it's a minus sign, but it's a plus sign, then I plus. So my compounded gain increases as the month goes down. So this is actually a mid-month scenario. So middle of the month, I've already got 9.05% compounded gain. Is my compounded gain my actual gain? No, it's not. You got to minus the capital infusion, okay? So let me show you another example. This is an example in May last month. So you can see that in May I had 23 trading sessions, 6 losses, 17 profits, and this is how it happened. Maybe one more month as an example. This is April 2018. I have 21 trading sessions, 5 losses, 16 profits. And in March, 17 trading sessions, 4 losses, 13 profits. So this is how I trade and I get my profits. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what happened 69 months ago. 69 months ago, in October 2012, I told you that I was full-time 6 years ago, right? So 6 years ago, I took out 10,000 of my savings in October, and I started trading full-time. If you see 0 means I wasn't trading, I was on leave, I was sick, or I was just lazy, right? So, but I want to highlight something to you. You can see the compounded gain is on the high side, using my own money. As a trader with a small portfolio, my gains tend to be higher. Why? There is a trading strategy. I use margin trading. I was doing risky trading. Got to be honest with you, because I was dealing with my own money, and I was dealing with small amounts. So I did margin trading. Margin trading, like if you pay attention just now in the video, is out of 100% portfolio, I use 100% to look for 100% gain. So margin trading means I use 10,000 to look for 10,000 gain. So I had 6,000 profit. But what is the danger of margin trading? I can also lose 10,000, right? So not a 100% strategy. But then again, why do we take such risks as traders? Is because when our portfolio is small, if I happen to lose this 10,000, I can always take out another 10,000, try again. But in my present portfolio right now, 37.1 million, I cannot do margin trading anymore. I got to do fractional trading. Why? Because if I do margin trading, I lose the 37 million, nobody's going to give me another 37 million to try. So I got to be a bit more kiasu, conservative and traditional. So the strategy that I do at this moment is what we call fractional trading. Fractional trading means out of 100% portfolio, I use a fraction of my portfolio to look for a fraction of profit. Right? In my case, if you see my formula, I basically use 5% to look for 0.5% profitability, and there is 20 to 25 trading opportunities a month. So 25 times 0.5 plus or minus, I will get 12.5% a month. Good month, more than 12.5%. Bad month, less than 12.5%. And if you can see my trading results from this few years, don't talk about the early trading days. Early trading days, I got 60%. But if you talk about the last 3 years, quite consistently, my trading portfolio has been averaging between, I would say, 5-point something percent to 16+%. I can actually show you that later. Okay? I have to use the whole fund, but I risk only a fraction of my trading portfolio. So this is called fractional trading. If you don't have the money, basically, and if you don't have, let's say, 37 million, if you only have 3 million, your total portfolio is 3 million, then you can use whatever you want, right? So you understand that? Okay, so let me just show you a simplified version of my trading journal. So this is my trading performance from 2012 and 2013. So 2012, October, you can see I took up 10,000, and from 10,000, my month end was 17,000, and it went to become 40, 70, 120,000. And at 120,000, something happened, which I'll show you what happened. All this up and down means something happened. I will tell you the story later. And you can see my portfolio slowly went up to 100 over 1,000. So that was the story there. For my trading performance, you can see up and down, but it's quite stable. My this gold color line is actually my compounded gain. My compounded gain was between 20+% to 40+%. So it's up, down, down, but it's quite consistent, right? And you can see the number of trading sessions, the gray line is always between more than 10 sessions to around 20, 22, 25 trading sessions. And you can see the red color is the number of profits, right? My profitability is quite okay, is between, I would say, 5 to 16+%, right? And if you can see, this is number of profits, number of sessions, number of profitable sessions, right? So it's not percent, it's number of sessions, right? So I have, I would say, 20 to 25 trading sessions. Out of it, there is some losses. The blue color is the losses, right? I want to highlight November 2012. The losses are more than the gains, but I still have good compounded gain. Is because my number of losses, although it's a lot, but it's micro losses. So if you have small losses, but your gain is a few, but only big, you eventually have a good compounded gain. This is it, huh? Okay, very simple to understand. Let me quickly dive down to what happened here. There's a story to tell, all right? So it's May 2013, let's have a look. Which one are you talking about? Yeah. 45, sorry, you're talking about this one? This one, yeah. No, these are my, the journal is not there, huh? It's my portfolio, my AUM, my asset under management. The amounts I got from my creditors. Sorry, wait. This is my own portfolio. From here onwards, it will be asset under management because this is where my clients came in. This is the story I'm trying to tell you now. Okay. So in the beginning, I took out 10,000 of my saving. It was my own money. I got it up to 100 over 1,000. And let me tell you this story, which is here. Okay, which was April, right? So April, my 10,000 became 45,000, and I started paying myself 4,000 a month, right? So if you can see over here, I was paying myself 4,000 a month, okay? Okay, so let's continue here. And from 40 over 1,000, it became 60,000. So 60,000 was a very significant amount for me because when I crossed 60,000, I had a strategy to convert this 60,000 to become 120,000 Singapore dollars. And did I become successful? Of course, or else no story to tell, right? So when I crossed 60,000, I tapered off whatever that was above 60,000, which was $7,169, and put it aside for next month's salary. Just in case I fail and I lose all my money, I got 7,000 to start all over again, right? So it was a trading strategy that I thought of, and I thought it was a good thing to implement. And I started to do intense sculpting to achieve doubling in 1 month. So what happened was, when I hit this 60,000, I did this trading strategy, and it was sculpting. Basically, I went in, bought low, sell high, and I came out. Went in, came out, went in, came out. And I did it consecutively for more than a week, right? So for more than a week, I bought low, sold high, but buy low. And I went in, come out, went in, come out. So much so I forgot to eat, and I forgot to sleep, and I forgot to take care of my body. Don't talk about bathing. 1 week bathing, no bathing is very common for traders. So, and my body decided to protest. And what you can see in May was I fell sick for 2 weeks, right? So abusing my body with intense trading, my body protested and fell weak. So I became sick for 2 weeks. And during that 2 weeks, I had a lot of life reflection. And that's where I came up with my ideology of equilibrium. If you want to be a good trader, you must learn how to be a good to your health. You must take care of your body, you must take care of your mind, you must take care of your rest, you must take care of your mental state and everything. Equilibrium. And once you have equilibrium, you can then pursue excellence in trading, right? So I learned that, and after I recovered, I continued my pursuit of this doubling in 1 month. And thank goodness, by the end of May, I succeeded 120,000 Singapore dollars, right? So this is what I did. And then in June, carry forward, 120,000, I started paying myself 80,000 Singapore dollars, which was a 2 million Thai baht, okay? And I resetted my trading account to be 40,000. What does a trader do when he has 2 million Thai baht in his pocket in Thailand and you're single? So every day I party, go soy cowboy, you know, drink. That's what I do. I'm a guy, so that's what I do, right? So I will ask some of my Thai friends out and cha them, treat them with tom yum soup. So before they can put tom yum soup into their mouth, I will tell them, hey, I can double my portfolio in 1 month. I got the portfolio to show, right? So I started showing off. And then one of my Thai friends who is Malaysian, his name is JC. He lived in Thailand, Bangkok for 14 years, 15 years. And he pulled me aside and said, Kenneth, I got aunties and uncles in Malaysia who might be interested to do business with you. I said, let's fly to Malaysia. He said, let's go to Sabah, Malaysia. I said, okay. So I flew to Sabah, Malaysia, and I presented to the aunties and uncles my portfolio. Let me show you a photo of it. So this is JC, and this was the aunties and uncles in Sabah, Malaysia. You can see it was a very simple setup, coffee table, projector, and I showed them my portfolio. And the aunties and uncles in Sabah was very impressed with what I could do. They spoke to me in Hokkien. They say, "Ati this sibei kiang ah," which means, "Young man, you are so smart." Which means, my money, all I give to you. Then I put up my hand. I say, "Uncle, which means, uncle, how much is your money?" Then they say, "Why ringgit?" My money, 10,000 ringgit. Which is not a lot, which is only 3,800 Singapore dollars. But that was his whole life savings. I could not reject him. I said, okay, uncle, thank you for trusting me. I will take your 3,800 or 10,000 ringgit. And I took his money and I said, I will come up with a contract in Singapore. So I flew back to Singapore and I go and look for a lawyer. And that was the first time I realized, as a private trader, there are a few things I can do legally, and there are a few things I cannot do because it's illegal. Okay? So what I found out as a private trader in Singapore with MAS rules and regulation is, as a private trader, I am not allowed to trade for anyone, full stop. It's against the law. So today, I'm not asking you to trade for you. It's not going to happen. Okay? It's against the law. And then I asked the lawyer, wow, like that I cannot trade for people, then how can I make them my client? They said, why don't you set up a private fund, a hedge fund? You only need a few $1 million. Then I look at my trading portfolio, I say, I think I'm a few million short of a few million. I cannot. So hedge fund idea, not there yet, maybe in the future. And then he pulled me aside. He says, Kenneth, why don't you do like what most traders do? Why don't you convert your client's relationship to become a debtor-creditor relationship? I said, what do you mean debtor-creditor? It means instead of trading for people, which is illegal, just borrow money from them and service them accordingly. Make it perfectly legal. Make it a personal loan. I said, personal loan? Wow, like that also can. So he came up with a personal loan agreement, and my first client for the personal loan was my Sabah clients, 3,800 Singapore dollars, and they got 3% a month. Okay, so that's how I first started out with this concept of doing a personal loan. Okay, and then they continue to support me. The very next month, you can see, in July, my 40,000 became 51,000. I started paying myself 6,000 a month, and you can see the payout was $425. That was the first 3% that I had to pay. And you can see that the Sabahans actually supported me with another case, 15,000 Malaysian ringgit, which is 5,800 Singapore dollars.
Okay, what is this account value? What does it signify, this account value?
Which one?
The account value.
Account value. Oh, this is the total. So can you see 51,000 minus 6,000 minus 400?
This is the capital that you have.
That's right. And this is the capital that that I had at the moment. Okay? Okay. So, okay. And let me just show you. Okay. So in 2014, you can see that my compounded gain was up and down. It was between 5-point-something% to 40+%. Some beautiful thing happened over here, which I'll show you later. And trading sessions, number of profits, number of losses, very no significant movements, right? So it's within a range. 2014, you can see that my portfolio raised from 100 over 1,000 from the whole year to 280 over 1,000. You can see that I paid myself 6,000 a month. And these were the loan repayments that I had to pay to my creditors, right? So what I can tell you is 2014 was a boring year because I maintained a portfolio above 100 over 1,000, and I was able to give myself 6,000 a month. And I had a few creditors, and they were happy, I was happy. And then something happened in October 2014. Okay, let's have a look. October 2014. July, October 2013, January, February, March, April, May. Okay, so October 2014, my good friend, James C., he came to Bangkok to look for me. Okay, James is a good friend. He's a business veteran. He's slightly older than me. He's my big brother. And today I have, what I have today is partly because of him, because of his support, right? So he came, and then I was so excited, you know, because I looked up to him. And basically I asked him out for some tom yum soup. So before he can put soup in his mouth, I started showing him my portfolio. I said, hey, I was able to maintain a portfolio that is 100 over 1,000 Singapore dollars. I was paying myself 6,000 a month. He said, wow, very smart young man, right? And I also told James that I was teaching people Forex. I was having a Forex course that was basic, intermediate, and advanced, and I was teaching people Forex. And he was very impressed. He said, wow, Kenneth, you must be earning tons of money, because in Singapore, if you teach people Forex, you can charge one student 3,000 a month, 6,000 a month, 12,000 a month, or something like that. So I said, no lah, James, I'm doing it for free. That's where he gave me 2 tight slaps, and he gave me a free 3 hours lecture. So he dragged me one side, because he eat more salt than I eat rice. He taught me a few things about doing business. First thing first, business cost recovery. Don't do things at a loss, right? So if you are, and the second thing is focus, right? So if I'm good in trading, I should just focus on trading. I should not, you know, hand itchy, go and teach people Forex and busybody and do a lot of other things. So I learned from this friend of mine, focus. So I started telling him that, yes, I can be focused in my trading, but if I focus in my trading, how do I look for clients, right? So he said, okay, we'll sit down and we will think through, devise a strategy to look for clients, come up with an introducer program. And that was the first time I sanctioned a 0.7% above the 3% that I give to my clients as incentive to my introducers to look for clients. So today I have my successes is because I didn't advertise. I have my successes is because of word of mouth. My clients are happy for many, many years. And because they're so happy, they talk to another person. The other person become my new client. and became happy for many years, and they refer this way. And that's how I did it, right? And because I don't want to run this as a multi-level marketing program, I didn't allow it to have many, many layers. So the most layer I had was 2 layers, introducer 0.7% and introducer director at 0.3%, right? Why? Because I didn't have to pay for any staff or anything like that. So it can survive on its own, and everyone was helping everyone because it's vested interest. So my cost of funds, very simple. Today, if you were to sign a contract with me, it will be 3% a month, okay, that I pay to you, that I'm liable to you. I will be liable to the introducers at 0.7% a month, which is here, and then 0.3% is the introducer director. My cost of funds, 4%. Anything less than 4%, my profit. Oh, sorry, anything more than 4%, my profit, okay? So that's how I do business, very simple, no-brainer, okay? So I thank James for coming up with the introducer program, and the very next month, he was very happy, and he gave me my first big contract, which was 50,000 Singapore dollars. So I want to highlight, at this time, it was just a loan agreement. There wasn't any securitization or any collateralization. That came as a product enhancement later on, because after many months of doing this, a few clients said, "Hey Kenneth, what if you are knocked down by a bicycle in Bangkok?" I said, "Oh, okay, then I better buy insurance and protect you." So that's how the securitization came about, okay? So James was the first one to believe in me. And then in December, my portfolio did a miracle. It went above 200,000 Singapore dollars. First time in my whole trading career. For 24 years I was trading. It never went above 200,000. So this one went above 200,000. I was very happy. And I started paying myself 6,000 a month. And James seems to be very happy because he gave me another 50,000 contract. In January 2015, my portfolio became 284,000. I started paying myself 8,000 a month. And James seems to be very happy. He gave me another 50,000 contract. And then in February 2015, my portfolio went to become 346,000. James seems to be very happy. He gave me another 50,000 contract. And in March 2015, my portfolio almost hit 400,000. I was very happy. I gave myself a 150,000 bonus. And James seems to be very happy. He gave me another 50,000 contract, right? What does this show you? It shows you James likes to give me money, huh? Well, to be honest with you, people normally don't give money to another person. There must be a reason. What I found out was James was addicted to the 3% I gave him. And that's how I discovered that people, normal people, prefer passive income. Because I'm doing the work. They just trust me, the 50,000. Every 50,000 meant 1,500 as passive income, because 1,500 is 3%. So you can count the number of 1,500 he has on a month basis, right? So that's how we developed the product, okay? So 2014, I paid myself 6,000 a month, okay? Let's have a look at 2015. 2015, this is more or less very stable, up and down, right? And you can see my portfolio went from 300 over 1,000 to cross a million, right? So you can see a jump here. This was when I paid myself 150,000. So before that, I was paying myself 8,000 a month. Then after that, I was paying myself 15,000 a month. Okay, until the end of the month, I paid myself 25,000 a month. Why? Because in December, too many Christmas presents to buy. 15,000 were good enough. So I paid myself 25,000 Singapore dollars. Let me highlight this particular situation. This was when I crossed 1 million in terms of portfolio size. It took me 25 years of trading, 3 years full-time trading to reach this level. It wasn't an overnight success, okay? So I was so happy I gave myself 100,000 bonus, okay? 2016, trading performance more or less very stable, up and down. You can see my portfolio went, it was a very good year. I had 4.5 times growth from 1-point-something million to 5 million, right? So you can see I was paying myself 25,000 Singapore dollars, right? Okay. and my payout liabilities grew because I had more creditors. So you can see from 50,000 a month to 126,000 a month I had to pay for my benefactors, introducers, so on and so forth. And then in 2017, trading performance more or less very stable. My portfolio also grew another 5 times, from 5 million to 25 million. I paid myself 100,000 Singapore dollars a month. And my payout liability went from 100,000 to 700,000. And I think it has already crossed 1.2 million recently. So you might ask me, Kenneth, why are you showing off your salary? These are kind of like very personal kind of things. Well, I learned from my accounting clients that there's such a thing called accounts resolution. Whatever that I declare here should be in my bank statement and my income tax. If the numbers are wrong or different, that means something fishy is going on, right? So to be very transparent to you, I want to show you that this is how much I have declared, and I want to show you later that is how much I have paid as income tax, okay? So this is the whole thing, okay? So let's quickly move on to the next slides. The introducer program grew, right? And 3 years ago, what happened was I was so happy with James and a couple of introducers that I brought them to Bagan, Myanmar, the city of temples. And I put them in a hot air balloon and I flew them around. So much so a TV crew came and filmed this whole thing and called me the Weekend Warrior. So if you go to see the email that we have sent to you, the video is actually there. The documentary is actually there. 2 years ago, we brought them to Tashkent, Uzbekistan, Central Asia. And last year, we brought them to Kyoto, Osaka, Hiroshima, Japan. And this year, in February, we brought them to Cyprus, East Europe, right? And it was a little island. And just want to show you the Cyprus trip.
So it's Orthodox Church. So if somebody wants to light candles, you can do it.
So it was an awesome client incentive trip and had a very good feedback. So much so, some of my clients pulled me aside and said, Kenneth, one trip a year not enough. You must do more than once a year. How about twice a year? I said, possible. So after this Cyprus trip, we decided that we should do another incentive trip challenge. And the next intensive trip is actually in July in Mauritius, right? So this is oops, what do I? So, but I made the eligibility criteria very simple. It used to be top benefactors then can go, but what is top? You know, nobody actually know what is top until the finishing of the period. So for this, once you put 200,000 and above, automatically you qualify. And when you qualify, you will be asked to sign a incentive trip agreement. If you sign, you will get to travel. If you don't, then the trip is not given to you. Okay. And I will have top introducers and top introducers directors following me. People with the highest number of cases and people with the number of highest contracts. This will be, the qualification period will be from the 7th of January to the 21st of June. And that is why we wanted to have this MCM monthly client meeting before the 21st of June, so that some of you might want to consider to quickly go for this trip. So what does it cover? It entitles you to a trip to Mauritius, economy, return air ticket, 3 nights and 5-star accommodation. And I will host a gala dinner, and you can actually get to know me a bit better. Okay, so it's my way to say thank you. Okay, so let's continue. You have seen my trading journal, but I want to highlight that the trading journal is actually extracted from my trading results. So this is my trading results, but it's quite impossible for you to see my trading profitability and my performance. That's why I show you my trading journal. But this is my trading statements from my broker.
Yeah, is there any specific currency that you trade, or you trade across?
I only do Euro USD. Euro USD, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to show you something now. I'm going to show you my client list. Only thing I can't show you is the password. Okay, so if you can see, my portfolio now stands at 37 million, 37.1 million. And it's a sum total of all this AUMs. And I want to highlight the blue color is actually contracts that I got on the 7th of the month. And the green color is contracts I got on the 21st of the month. Okay. I have, of course, taken out my client's name and my client's particulars, because Singapore, we got such a thing called PDPA, Personal Data Protection. So not allowed to show you their names and their contracts and everything. So I want to highlight this particular bar to you. I have 791 cases, 400 over clients. And this is actually the date that the fund is received. So once you have banked the amount to me, this is reflected here. And I want to highlight something to you. This is the benefactor payout. I pay 3% a month. You might ask me, hey, how come, Kenneth, some people are special, huh? They have more than 3% a month. They get 5.27% a month. Do you know why? Any one of you know this mystery? Oh, not mathematically inclined, huh? Compounded, okay. At least some of you pass in maths, huh? Okay, so this is compounding, okay. So I got 2 products, remember. The first product is known as 3% monthly payout. I pay you 3% a month. Why? Because my profitability is between 5 point something to 16+%. And if you compound your monthly payout with me, instead of 3% monthly payout, so 3 times 12 is 36%. But if you take 3 compound 12 cycles, it will be 42.40. Alamak, suddenly forget. 42.58, is it? Hold on. Let me just do a bit of revision. $42.58, yeah, okay. Suddenly blank. Okay, 42.58, okay. So if you were to take 3 compound 12 cycles, it will be 42.58, okay? And if you were to take 3 times 72, it will be 3 times 24, it will be 72%, 2 years, okay? But if you were to take 3 compound 24 cycles, 2 years, it will be 103.28%. That means you basically double your capital in 2 years if you use compounding. And if you were to take 3 times 36 months, 3 years, it will be 108, okay? Which means you double in, if you were to do your mathematical progression, you will double in 3 years. If you take 3 times 36. But if you take 3 compound 36 cycles, it will be 189.83. And if you take 189.83 divided by 36, you will get 5.27. That's how you get 5.27, okay? So the maximum you can get is 5.27 if you don't take out your money and you allow me to compound. The minimum you can get is 3% a month, okay? That's the range. Okay, and then I want to highlight this is my benefactor payout. So I have a payout liability of 900,000 to my benefactors a month, and these are the amounts that I pay, okay? And also want to highlight this column, which is the payout cycles. So most of my contracts are now 3 years contract. I don't sign anything less than 36 months. Why? Because long ago, when I first started out, I will sign 1 month's contract, 3 months contract, 6 months contract. But the problem is, every 3 months, 6 months, my clients will come to me and renew. I say, why you waste my time? I'm not an admin guy, I'm a trader. Must well I give you 3 years. If you want your money back, you just give me 1 month's notice. So that's how the product came about. So now I have a 3 years contract. If you want your money back, you just give me 1 month's notice. Simple as that. Okay? So, and that's how we do it. Okay, so for the blue color, it's the 7th of the month. The green color is on the 21st of the month. This is the first payout. The first payout is 1 month after the effective date. Okay, and this is early termination, if any. Capital return, if either on early termination or expiry. Renewal date, if any, after the 3 years. Expiry date is 36 months after effective date. And these are the actual bank accounts from my creditors. You can see some banks are from another country. Show you Bangkok Bank, okay. Okay. And I want to highlight this one. This one is my introducer payout. I pay almost $250,000 to my introducers on a monthly basis. And this is my introducer director payout, $78,000 as of end of June. And my total payout liability to my benefactors introducers is $1.26 million. The price of a Lamborghini every month, right? As of the end of June. And I'll highlight this number to you, 4.3736 is a very important number to me. It's known as my KPI, my key performance indicator, my break-even number. If you are good in mathematics, if you take 1.2 million divided by 37.1 million, you will get 4.3736. And why is this number important? You might come to me and say, Kenneth, just now you say your cost your cost liability is 4% because it's 3% to the benefactor, 0.7 to the introducer, 0.3% to the introducer director. How come suddenly got another 0.3736 come out, right? So the 0.3736 is actually from, anyone of you know? Where is it from? How come suddenly got another 0.3% come out? Do you know? Anyone? It's from the accrued interest, from compounding. So you remember, I have compounded cases which I don't normally pay a month basis. But as a responsible businessman, if I don't take into account the liabilities that I have to pay for this amount, and I just spend it, then at the end of 3 years, I got no money to pay back these compounded contracts. So as a responsible business person, I have to set aside that as my cost. So I cannot say 4%, I got to say 4.3736%. And what does it mean? Mathematically, the opposite is also true. And that's how I can become rich today. It's because whatever that is above 4.3736 is my profit. Nobody else's money, my money. Okay? So, if my trading profitability is 5 point something percent, I will take 5 point something percent minus this 4.3. If my profitability is 16 plus percent a month, I will take 16 plus percent minus this 4.3. And that's how I can afford the lifestyle that I have. Travel, pay for staff, set up companies as and when I want, wear diamond rings. Right? So this is how I make money. Okay, very simple. Okay. Okay, now let's quickly go to the next slide. Let me show you my client statements. I want to show you my client statement as of 7th of June.
How do you make money when the market is going the other way now? For example, euro is corrected.
Mhm.
1.18 to 1.15.
If you can see, my trading performance is always up and down. I am not an investor. Okay, the current perception of the market is traders are investors. Sorry, we are not investors, and we detest you for saying that we are investors. We are traders. Investors is you put money into the market, you pray to God, you hope that the country and the economy will go up. But traders, we are the scums of the world. We will pray that a terrorist attack will happen. That's what I am. So sorry. Okay, I am the George Soros. You know the Thais. George Soros actually caused the Thai Asian crisis, the devaluation. Do you know George Soros' big face is in the Thailand media? He is a wanted man in Thailand because he caused the devaluation of the Thai baht. And he caused the Tom Yam Kung crisis. I happen to be in the same industry as him. Okay? So I'm a trader. I buy low, I sell high, and I sell high, and I buy low, depending on the situation. Okay? And I would appreciate that you will leave the answers and questions to the questions and answers session later, because you're disrupting the whole process. Okay, now let's have a look at the client statements. I got 3 clients that have given me their approval to show you their statements. Joseph Tan Yiling, Phoebe Chu Hui Mei, and Mark Chan Shi Wai. Let's have a look at Joseph's statements. Okay, so this is Joseph's statements. You can see this is Joseph's statements on the 7th of June. And Joseph has given me 50,000 on the 7th of February 2017. And I have consistently give him 1,500 every month, because that is 3% of 50,000. And you can see that he's getting 0.7% from his own clients, Tan King Hua, and client Ong Yi Shen, right? So 0.7%. And Joseph gets $4,097 from me, not on a monthly basis. This is twice a month, every 2 weeks. This is because this is on the 7th of the month. On the 21st of the month, there is also another statement, and it depends on how many cases Joseph has given to me and how many cases he has introduced to me. So I have 2 months payout, okay? But the payout is on a monthly basis. If you sign on the 7th, it's on the 7th. If you sign on the 21st, it's on the 21st, okay? So I'll show you a few more, then perhaps you can get to understand it better. I'm going to show you now Phoebe Chu Hui Mei. There you go. Getting old, I cannot see too small. Got to change my bifocal soon. Okay, so this is Phoebe Chu Hui Mei. You can see that the reason why I'm showing you this example is because Phoebe was the one that introduced Joseph, so naturally she gets 0.7%. And Phoebe gets 0.3% of Ong Yi Shen. And some of you might ask me, Kenneth, Phoebe doesn't look like she's an introducer because she doesn't put 50,000 and above to qualify as an introducer. How come she can introduce? Well, she put 50,000 on the 21st of the month, right? So if you were to see the 21st of the month, you can see that the 50,000 is there. Okay. Now let's have a look at Mark Chan Shi Wai. Mark, this is Mark's statements on the 7th of June. You can see that reason why I want to show you Mark is because he was the one that introduced Phoebe, and Phoebe was the one that introduced Joseph. Mark gets 0.3% of what Joseph puts in. Simple to understand. And Mark himself gets 0.7% from Debbie, Doreen, and Marie, and so on and so forth. Okay. And he's the introducer director of Joseph, Chris, and so on and so forth. So Mark gets 2,500 every on the 7th of the month. And Mark doesn't prefer to do a monthly payout for his own case. So for his own case, Mark's put 50,000 on a monthly compounded basis. So his monthly compounded is was since 7th of December 2016, and this is already the 18th cycle. So his 50,000 is now valued at 85,121 thousand Singapore dollars. Okay, so 70% gain. Interest accrued interest is 4.96%. So this is how we give our statements. You can imagine those people that came with me 3 years ago, 4 years ago, where got so nice. This is only possible because I hired some girls to do my admin. 3-4 years ago, people like James, will basically get an email from me, hey, money in the bank, go and check, That's the report they have. But now it's so nice, okay? Okay. How many of you want to see James C's statement? Put up your hand. Don't have, then I don't show, no? How many, one more time, How many of you want to see James C's statement? Put up your hand. Okay, I'll show lah. Okay, but to be fair, he has already pulled me aside and say, Kenneth, can show lah, but cannot show everything, Can show the top, can show the bottom, but don't show the middle. Okay? So I will, don't show the middle. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is James C. statement, 7th of June. You can see the first few is his own cases, right? If you all remember, he gave me 50,000, right? And he has consolidated his 50,000 to become 100,000. So this was 100,000. So each case is 100,000. Okay, so 100,000 is getting 3,000 a month. Okay, and let's have a look at the bottom. Ding 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 ding. This is 11 pages. Sorry if I make you giddy. 11 pages. Okay, so 147 cases. 43,000 a month. Is that enough for you? Is this good? It's not monthly, so sorry. This is every 2 weeks. Would you like to see his 21st of the month statement? Well, put up your hand. Okay. So the 21st of June is not ready because it's not 21st of June yet. So what I can only do is to show you the 21st of May. Let's have a look. Ding, ding, ding. So 21st of May, you can see this is 21st of May. First few cases is his own, right? 100,000. And let's have a look at the bottom. Ding, 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 ding. 8 pages. Okay. 96 cases. 29,000. So 29 plus 43. You go and add. This is how much he gets from me a month. Good life. Okay. How I wish I'm James C also. No need to work, just receive only. I'm the one working. Okay, let's have a look at the rest. Okay, so I want to encourage all of you. All of you might say, wow, James C must be a superman. I can assure you, he is not a superman. He doesn't wear his underwear outside. He's just a normal person. I can boil it down because I study his statements and everything on a monthly basis. I can boil it down to one word: consistency. The reason why James C is able to get 60, 70,000 from me a month now is because every month for the last 3+ years, he has been consistently referring people to me, and he has his own cases with me. So you just imagine those few 100,000 that he has from me already generate how many 3,000 for him, plus the number of referrals. And the referrals is not one person, 1 million, 2 million, no such thing. Each case is 20,000, minimum 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, and a few 100,000, that's all. So you can count mathematically, for 3 years, 36 months, what does James C do? Basically, he doesn't work anymore. He doesn't have to. He has a very nice passive life from me, right? So he travels around, and we have this routine that he will make sure he comes to Singapore 1 week a month, right? He will spend time outside of Singapore 3 weeks a month, right? He likes to go to China. Don't ask me why. I think it's the food, right? Could be other things, I don't know. Okay, so he likes to go to China. And he will make sure he's in Singapore for the 1 week. And during that 3 weeks, while he is groping the world, he will make sure he populates his social media, his WeChat, his Facebook, his Instagram, with delicious food shots, caviar, foie gras, char siu bao, or whatever. He will make sure he takes selfies and make sure he tells people that he is enjoying a passive life. And when his people ask him, his friends and family ask him, "Hey James, how in the world do you live a passive life? You don't have to work." He said, "No, I don't have to work." He will take out my book and say, "This is the guy giving me 3% a month. But I want you to be very careful. Singapore, we got rules and regulation with MAS and everything. Please don't solicit investments, because solicitation investment is a regulated activity. If you are not a financial advisor, you're not supposed to tell who to put where, to put money in which place. So James never tell people to put money with me. That's wrong. You can go to jail. So, but James says, this person give me 3%. Why? Why is that okay? Because it's factual. If it is true, he can say. If it is not true, then don't say, please. So James says, this person gives me 3% a month. And he also says he loves this person, and this person is good, and so on and so forth. Character vouching, right? And he will make sure he keeps quiet after that. Why? Because in sales, there is such a thing called golden silence. The first person that opens the noise loses the case. So he will say, this person give me 3%, and keep quiet. So what is the natural reaction of people when you say this person give me 3%? They will either say, hey, introduce leh, right? Or they will say, rubbish, right? If they say rubbish, leave it alone, because they are not interested. Case closed. Don't say any other thing. But if they say introduce leh, that's where you put your three-way chat. So James, in 1 month, gives me around 10 three-way chats group. Okay? So that will be every 3 days he meets someone and he puts a three-way chat. Every 3 days he meets someone, put a three-way chat. So roughly 10 three-way chats a month. And out of this 10 three-way chats, I would say 50% will come from my monthly client meeting. 5 people. All right? So out of 50 people, maybe 5 will be from James. And out of these 5, maybe 2 or 3 will close as a client. Not 100% will close, right? So you can count 2 or 3 times 36 months. That's why he can have more than a few hundred clients. Very simple to calculate, right? So if he can do it, what I'm trying to say is you can also do it. Very simple. Okay. Now let me show you something. And before I show you this, let me give you a story. In February last year, my office wasn't ready yet, so I was still doing presentation at my sale condo at the sofa area. So it was one-to-one. Every 1.5 hours, new clients will come, right, during that 4 days that I meet my clients during my MCM, monthly client meeting. And I chanced upon this lady who was very quiet during the presentation, but when I showed her the statements, she told me, Kenneth, stop. I said, oh, what happened? Then she asked me, Kenneth, if you're not hiding anything, show me everything. Show me your bank statements. Show me your income tax. Show me your trading portfolio. Show me your trading statements and everything. Then I said, possible. So I wasn't ready, but it was a good suggestion. So I digged it out from my files here and there, and I started showing her everything. And I'm happy to let you know, after a couple of months, she became my client. And after a couple of months of knowing her, I realized her profession was an auditor, right? She professionally will dig numbers out and forensic the numbers. So she dig number for a living. And because of her, today I'm happy to come in front of you in full transparency. And she has taught me how to do a mini audit. And how do I do this mini audit? I basically put everything in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I show you everything. I show you my income tax, my bank statements, my trading statements, my everything. And if you think this is for you, okay, so be it. If you think this is not for you, you can make your decision. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you my income tax statement, my NOA as of 2018. Why? Because I am a show-off. Okay, so this is my income tax statement just recently released on the 11th of June for the year of assessment 2018. So you can see that my income was, can you remember, I paid myself 100,000 a month. So this is how much I declared, 1.2 million, thereabout. And I want to highlight this particular thing to you very proudly. Approved donations, 800 over 1,000. Yes, I have been giving back to society. Where is this 800,000 coming from? From things like my SMU scholarship, but I have not renewed with them. I'm trying to do it soon. We missed the deadline and all those things. A bit of politics there, but anyway, never mind. This was the first scholarship that I had. And I gave Duke NUS their first legacy gift. I gave NTU a bursary fund, and I gave SUTD, sounds like a sexually transmitted disease, but this is Singapore University of Technology and Design, okay? And I gave 8 scholarship to SUTD recently. So much so that, giving to these charities and universities, I thought maybe it would be good to set up Ken Foundation. So middle of last year, we set up Ken Foundation in Mauritius. So Ken Foundation is actually a registered charity in Mauritius. And this year in February, we also registered it in Singapore. So we have Ken Foundation in Singapore. And we've been giving from Ken Foundation. So much so, I also got to speak in the Climate Change Forum in UNESCO in France, Paris in December last year. Right, so let's go back to this one. So this is the approved donation. So this is what we call Teng Hu Lui. If have is there. If don't have means don't have. Don't have to go and fake and all those things. Okay. So I'm happy to let everyone know that I pay 55,000 towards nation building. So I'm a taxpayer, and I want to encourage all of you to be taxpayers because this is the right thing to do. As a society, if you pay tax, the economy and the society will become better. Please do your part, okay? If you don't pay your tax, please don't tell me. I don't want to know. Okay, so let's have a look at the next one. I'm going to show you my trading portfolio, my trading console. And I want to be very honest with you. This is my trading console that I did a screenshot just this afternoon at 12. I want to be honest with you. This is very seldom turned on because I use my iPhone most of the time. Just like when you go to your bank account in your computer, you normally don't leave your bank account on for the whole day, you know. Why? Because your spouse may be around, your children may be around, your mate may be around. So for me, I always have this fear. So I normally don't turn it on for security reasons. And I do my trading from my iPhone app. I just go in, buy, sell, finish, come out, and do my research from Reuters and Bloomberg and third-party trading softwares. So my fear has always been, if I turn it on and I go for lunch, and I come back, and I go for toilet, and I come back, and my mate just happened to come to my condo and start to clean my keyboard. Two things can happen, my 37 million can become 370 million. Yay! Then I don't have to trade anymore. I give you all back all your money. Huh? The other possibility is can become zero. So as a security measure, I normally don't turn on my trading consoles. I do a handphone method, okay? So this is just to show you. So you can see that my portfolio is now at 27.18 million. And I'm going to show you my bank account. If I don't show you my bank account today, you cannot sleep, right? Okay, so I'm going to show you my bank account. And this is a very significant bank account. Why? Because this was a bank account that I personally did transfers to all my clients in April last year. And after April, I don't do it anymore. I outsource to my accounts girls to do it, which is more professional. That's why you can have the statements and everything. So this is a very historical statement to me. Okay, but let me quickly go through what this statement is about. If you see OTT is Overseas Fund Transfer. And if you see the $25 is the Overseas Fund Transfer fee. And if you see MS, this is the one that got me into trouble with my auditor because she had a look at this and she put me one side and say, Kenneth, what are you doing? You know, how can you put your clients' payout with your personal stuff, you know? So she complained that I have Dropbox. I pay to Dropbox, it's also there, you know? And I watch Netflix movie, not pornography. I watch Netflix, it's also there. And I buy shoe, Christian Louboutin is also there. And I listen to iTunes music is also there. She's not so happy that I mix my personal things with my client statement. She said, she gave me a poor audit rating. So I said, okay lah, I better get some girls. And that was the reason why I outsourced it to my girls. And if you see ICT means overseas, the interbank transfer. Interbank transfer from my bank to another bank in Singapore. And it's under a category of loans, right? So you can see it's under the category of loan. Loan here, loan here, loan here. Okay, I want to highlight something to you. All of you want to do proper business, right? You don't want to create problem for yourself while doing business with me, and please don't get me into trouble while doing business with me. So, and Singapore, we're very strict with MAS rules and regulation, banking rules and regulations. So, when you're ready to sign a contract with me, and you're ready to transfer funds to me, please, for goodness sake, spell this four-letter word, LOAN. Don't spell any other four-letter word. Don't put trading program. You'll get me into trouble, and you will be questioned also. Don't put investment scheme. For goodness sake, don't put Ponzi. Okay, it is a loan. Legally, no problem. Don't complicate the matter and say this and that, because it is not. Your relationship to me is going to be a creditor. It's a loan. Put loan. If you put any other thing, I can only apologize to you because it will cost you 3,000 Singapore dollars to go to a lawyer to do a statutory declaration to say that, oh, so sorry, that night my wife disturbed me and I anyhow click and I so sorry, clicked the remarks wrongly and I sent it to Kenneth, and you got to explain that to my banker with a statutory declaration. It's very troublesome. Some of my clients actually did that and they were very regretful. So please don't waste time and waste money. 3,000 you don't want, I want, give it to me. Don't have to give the lawyers this kind of money. Just make sure, if you don't know how to spell, don't spell. If you want to spell loan, L-O-A-N. Don't put any other funny things, okay? Just remember that, okay. Okay, moving forward, 6 pages of statements. SI is standing instruction. So these are the standing instructions to all my clients, creditors. And happy to let you know, as of 7th of April last year, my payout liability was 124,000 with the 21st of April statement was 300,000, so almost 400 over 1,000 payout liability versus 1.2 million now as of end of June. Okay. Let's have a look at something a bit more current. Let me show you something that was a bit current. This is my statement as of June, sorry. Okay, you can see. Okay, let me just go down. So you can see a check deposit, right? And then the amount goes bigger, and so on and so forth. And you can see the all is other loans. Huh? Okay. Can see or not? All right. So very simply, what happens is on a monthly basis, before the 7th and the 21st of the month, my girls will tell me, Kenneth, this is your payout liability. Then I'll prepare a check and I'll transfer the funds to my bank, and they will just pay out to the clients. So this has been more than 2 years, more than a year that they've been doing this. Okay, very consistently. Huh? Okay, so now let's go to closing. Okay. Okay, let me just drink a bit of water. So all of you have seen the number of clients I have and how I do it. Now, let me quickly tell you the 4 kinds of clients that I have, okay? The first kind of client is what I call the triple R, okay? What is triple R? Triple R is the relax, the retrench, and the retired. Retrenched and retired are those people who, because of age, because of health, they cannot look for a job anymore, or the job don't want them, but they still need to have a monthly income to survive. So what they do is they come to me, right? And then the relax are those people who are like James C, can work but don't want to work, you know, prefer alternative lifestyle, that kind of thing, but don't judge them, you know. Maybe they want to take care of their children, their wives, their family, or they want to do, you know, charity, they want to build a hospital in Myanmar or whatever. Let them be, you know, but they need a monthly income. How do they do this? So triple R comes to me for a salary, okay? Triple R puts 100,000 with me, they get 3,000 a month. Simple as that. People like James happen to have a higher need, so he puts a few 100,000 with me, he gets a few hundred, more than that 3% a month. And James happened to be an advocator of passive income. So what he does, he likes to help people with passive income, and he likes to tell this story about Kenneth Kam and all those things. And he refers a lot of clients to me, and because he refers a lot of clients to me, he also gets passive income, right? So triple R, my first kind of client. The second kind of client that I have is what we call the high yield bank savvy clients, right? Bank savvy, high net worth individuals. Singapore is very small. Once you are bank savvy and high net worth, you're most probably upper echelon. You are most probably connected to the banks, to the police, to the government, or to big companies. And because you're connected, and then suddenly some guy come to you and say, I can give you 3% a month, do you just all of a sudden believe in him? No, you check him out. You use your resources to check him out. You go and do deep verification. You go and check whether this guy is a con man, whether cheated anyone before, whether got court case, got how many wives he has married, or you know, how many people has complained against him, and you check his credibility, his standing. Maybe you want to pretend to be the mailman and go to his mother and ask, hey, how is your son? You know, that kind of thing. And once you have used your resources to check him out, and because you're upper echelon, you will quietly go to your bank and then you will ask for a preferential loan with your bank. Your banker will most probably give you interest rate of maybe 1%, 2%, 3% a year. And because you're upper echelon, 1, 2, 3% a year, you will ask a credit limit of maybe $500,000, $1 million, or $2 million, depending on how well you're connected with the bank. And you do this thing called arbitrage. Have you? How many of you know what is arbitrage? Okay, we only got 3 rich people here. The rest all don't know, right? Because this is the rich man's technique. Huh? Okay, so the rich man's technique is arbitrage. Arbitrage means they contra my 3% a month with the 3% a year. Okay, 3% a month is 36% a year. So they contra the 36% a year with the 3% a month, and they get 33% of 1 million, 2 million, depending on how much credit line they can get. And this is how the rich people becomes richer. Unfortunately, this is how the world operates now, and some of my clients actually benefit from that because of the relationship they have with the banks. This is the second category of clients that I have. The third category of clients that I have is what I call the high yield, high saver. These are the families who prefer to save the highest returns in the shortest time possible. They want to save basically for the family's holiday, the children's education, the car, the house, the property that they want to buy. So they do not prefer the 3% monthly payout. They prefer the 3% monthly compounded. Right? So these are the third category of clients that I have. The fourth category of clients that I have is what I call the filial piety, family love. I'm beginning to find out that some of my clients are treating me like a family payment gateway. Yeah? Before they know me, they had to pay from their own pocket, the father, mother, children, and loved ones directly from their own pocket. After they know me, they become very smart. They sign a contract with me, put their father's, mother, loved one's name, and make me pay their father, mother, children, and loved ones. I think it's a very fair deal. They win, I win, the father, mother, children happy. But Singapore, we got such a thing as family law. You got to be careful. I cannot sign with a minor. Anyone less than 18 years old, so sorry, I'm not allowed to sign a contract with them. So please, don't make me sign with a minor. The only solution is you sign it as a joint account, a joint benefactor account, no problem. Okay, so this is a solution for this family law. And the other thing that I want you to take note is, if you so wish to give your sons and daughters 18 years old and above, for example, $1 million, for example, please understand that if you make them the sole benefactor of this contract they have with me, you are no more my client. They become my absolute client. And if they were to come, your sons and daughters come to me and say, Uncle Kenneth, I want you to release the 1 million that my father has given to you because I want to exercise my 4 weeks early termination notice. I cannot say no. Even if you kneel down and cry. So sorry, contract is contract. Okay? So please, to avoid a family feud and fighting, like what you see in the newspapers, please don't make me become a family mediator, a counselor. Please, I just want to be a trader. I just want to give the 3% and be very happy. So you manage your own thing. If you want to give your money away, don't expect it to come back. If you think that your children deserve the money, then go ahead and do a sole beneficiary account. So these are the 4 kinds of clients that I have. Let me quickly explain to you the 3 benefits that my clients will enjoy having a relationship with me. The first benefit is, of course, the high yield, high profitability. It's quite unlikely that you are able to get this 3% a month from the market out there right now because it's a low yield environment. Traditional business cannot give you 3% a month, full stop, right? Because there's no way for them to go and profit in such a high manner. The reason why I'm able to give you 3% a month consistently is because I'm making more than 3% a month. If you see my trading performance, you can roughly make out that my profitability is 5-point-something% a month to 16+% a month over the last few years. And that's why I am confident enough to give you 3% a month. That month that I don't make even 3%, that's where I have to take out from my own pocket to pay you, but it hasn't happened yet. Okay, so that is how I run my business. Okay, so the first benefit is high yield, high profitability, 3% a month. Okay, the second benefit that I give to my client is what we call liquidity. A lot of my clients and friends, they ask me, Kenneth, I put 100% with the bank and the financial institution out there in the market, but how come when I take it back, usually it's less than 100% sometimes, you know? What is happening in the industry? Well, do you know that your bank and the financial institution that serves you, the hedge funds and the private funds, what they do is sometimes they do position trading. Position trading is actually not trading. Position trading is what we call hoarding. As a trader, I stay liquid by doing scalping, means go in, come out, depending on my portfolio size. And I do day trading, means morning go in, evening come out. And I do swing trade. Swing trade means I go in 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, the most 7 days, 10 days, I come out, right? And I stay liquid within the month. But position trading means they lock in your funds for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Position traders are not traders, okay? They are most probably bankers that don't know how to trade. They just lock in your money like that. So when you put your money with a bank or financial institution and you take your money out and you realize, hey, it's less than 100%, it's because when they need to give you back the money, they actually don't have the money to pay you back because it's locked down. They had to borrow from another source. When they borrow from another source, either a central bank or another bank, there is a cost of funds incurred. And when there's a cost of funds incurred, who do you think pays the cost of funds? You. That's why you have to pay termination fee, withdrawal fee, management fee, and so on and so forth, admin fee and so on and so forth. And if your instrument is not doing well, they will gladly minus the losses accordingly, and that's why you get less than 100%. Okay? But if you deal with a profitable trader like me, someone with a trading portfolio that is above 5% a month, right? And I stay liquid within a month by doing my scalping and day trading and swing trading. You can also be liquid within the month, right? So when you need your money back, you just have to give me 4 weeks early termination notice. Enough time for me as a trader to make sure that the amount that you need is not traded, ready to be transferred to my bank account, ready to be transferred to my client's account, whether it's in Singapore or in another country. So that will take some time, right? So then you don't have to incur admin fee, management fee, termination fee, and all those things. You happy, I happy, because I use your money to make money. And once you need it back, I just give you back. Just give me a period of time, 4 weeks early termination notice. Okay? So liquidity is in your hands. You just have to plan in advance, that's all. The third benefit is the reason why you are here on a Saturday afternoon and not shopping somewhere in Singapore. I mean, you're here not to hear me sing, to drink my water or whatever. You're here because I want to tell you this particular benefit, the third benefit that I can give to you, which is known as 100% securitization or collateralization. And how does this happen? Securitization in this financial world happens in a few forms. The most favorite form of securitization is what we call asset collateralization, which means you give me $1 million, I put this $1 million in a property, I pledge the property back to you, right? And that's how that's why we call asset collateralization, because it's asset collateralization or asset securitization. But the problem with asset collateralization is your money and my money is all locked down in the property. And if it is locked down in the property, there's no way for me as a trader to use the money to go and buy low, sell high, and do whatever I need to do to give you 3% a month. And if there's no way for me to give you 3% a month, you will never get 3% a month, full stop, through asset collateralization. So traders do not prefer the first form of securitization, which is asset collateralization. We prefer the second form of securitization, which is called securitization through insurance. How does this work? Very simple. Currently, I got more than $41 million of insurance in my name. And if you were to give me $1 million, what will happen is I will pledge 1 million of my 41 million to you as a nominee beneficiary. It means I will name you as a nominee beneficiary, and I will bring my agent to you, and you sit down, and he will write down your name in a insurance policy, and with that, the nominee beneficiary will be locked down in a policy, and you can have images of this thing. And if, touch wood, Kenneth goes to heaven, my insurance agent will come to you and say, so sorry, so and so, Kenneth has gone to heaven, and this is his death certificate, and I present to you $1 million because you are the nominee beneficiary of this insurance policy. In effect, your capital is 100% securitized, protected. Okay, this is the best I can do. Okay, so some clients at this point may ask me a few sensitive questions, which is their right to ask. They might ask me, Kenneth, are you sure or not, Zunbo? You sure that when you die, the insurance company will pay? Well, if I have the death certificate confirm that I die, the insurance company will have to pay, because this is a insurance given by the authorized insurance company, and this is governed by MAS rules and regulation. I have not seen a case where you produce a death cert and the insurance company don't want to pay. If they don't want to pay, you can complain MAS and you can sue them because it's a legal document. Okay, and then some clients might ask me, but you must make sure I stay in heaven. If you've got death cert, I come back, no count. So the trick of the game is you must die, make sure I stay in heaven. Okay, then you can claim. Okay, if you've got death cert, I come back, no count. You understand? Okay, let me explain. Okay, and then some of my clients may ask me this, Kenneth, what if you run away, right? And then Kenneth, what if you become a bankrupt? For that matter, they might come up with a funny question and say, Kenneth, what if you're bitten by a yellow caterpillar, you turn green and you suddenly don't know how to trade? All these questions I can answer with one answer, very simple. Make sure I stay in heaven. Because remember, got death cert, I come back, no count. Okay? So, do you understand what I'm trying to say? I'm not trying to say that you murder me, but let me explain to you in a more positive way. A lot of business people in this world, they borrow millions, they borrow billions. But because they lack these 5 elements of corporate governance, and what is this 5 elements of corporate governance? Accountability, liability, reliability, credibility, responsibility. And because they lack these 5 elements of corporate governance, at the first sign of business problem or business failure, they walk away, they run away, they switch you, they wash their hands and say nothing to do with me. They declare bankrupt. But today, I'm happy to let all of you know that I will not be hiding behind any private limited company. I will be dealing with you as a private individual. 100% liability on me. That's the difference between dealing with me and dealing with another person or another entity. Okay? 100% liability. Some people may say, Kenneth, so what if it is 100% liability? I don't believe in you, I don't trust you, I think you are not a good character, your insurance doesn't count. Then of course we cannot do business, right? Thank you for being here, have a good day, go back home and have a good life. But if you think, and you've done your research that Kenneth is of good character, you've asked around, you've done your research, and you're confirmed that this person is a good person, and the insurance is of value, right? And he's a responsible person, and his clients has been happy for the last 3 years, right? Then of course we can sit down and do some business. Small business, big business, depending on your appetite. If you think that this is the best deal that can happen in the world, then of course you do big business with me. If you think you want to be conservative, then maybe small business, minimum 20,000. Okay? So I leave it to you to decide. Okay? And the premise is this, it's very simple. If you think of me as a startup, what is a startup? You put your $1 million in a startup in the streets, and then you buy T-Kong, you pray to God, you hope that one day they will become an Apple, Google, or Uber. What is the probability of you putting money in a startup in the streets and striking gold, that they will become an Apple, Google, Uber. One in a few 100,000 companies, right? And that is if you're lucky and you're not unfortunate to put money in a conman private limited or a scam private limited. If you put your money, your $1 million in a scam private limited, 100% gone. Legally cannot take back because it's protected under a private limited liability jurisdiction. But today, if you were to put your money with a private individual like me, and I give you 100% liability and I securitize it with the insurance, every day that you wait for this person to become the pension fund for this world, because that's what I intend to be. Yeah? Every day that you wait for Kenneth to become the pension fund for this world, I give you 3% every month that you wait for me, if you are my creditor. And once I become the pension fund for this world, and I said, okay, creditor, I'm ready. You've been enjoying this 3% for that last few years. I'm now ready to convert you to become a creditor, to become a shareholder of my holding company. You can, of course, say no. If you say no, you take back your money, you happy, I happy, right? But if you say yes, just imagine what is the windfall. Your 100,000 will become at least 500,000 in share value, because when I give you shares of a public listed company, it will be 5 times value. 3% of 100,000 versus the revenues that you get from all the dividends of all the fund management companies that I have. It's quite a lot, okay? So that is the comparison, 3% of 100% or a few percent of 500,000. And the other thing is that all? No, it's not all, because I intend to also public list the whole holding company. I intend to go IPO or ICO, whatever. And if I do IPO, ICO, goodness, can you imagine the shares can actually times 100, times 1,000, depending on how crazy this world takes my story of becoming the pension fund for this world. So you just imagine, your 100,000 with me, that you get 3% a month, that you wait many, many years, many months for it. And once I'm ready, I challenge you, you will become a shareholder of the company, at least 5 times shares, $500,000. And then $500,000, when I go ICO, IPO, times 100, times 1,000, depending on the share numbers. And that is the potential. And that is how people that invest in companies become multi-billionaires. You just imagine, put money with Steve Jobs and Bill Gates when they first start out in the garage, when they had to borrow from their grandmother, the garage. You just imagine, you give $1,000 to Bill Gates, you will be a multi-millionaire today. If you put 100,000, you'll be a multi-billionaire. And that was the story of how people becomes rich using the capital markets. So, if you think you are ready to join me in this venture to become the pension fund for this world, I welcome you with both hands. You want to kiss me, no problem. Later on, we can do it privately. And I'm happy to let all of you know that I even have private bankers as my clients. Why? Why do bankers dare to be a client with me? Simple reason is because I am not a banking product. If it is I'm a banking product, they have compliance issues, conflict of interest issue, they cannot buy another bank's product. But because they are just treating me like a friend, lending money to a friend, that's why they can do business with me, okay? And the truth is also, there are banks also not giving them higher yields than me. That's the biggest truth, okay? And I'm happy to let all of you know that I have top lawyers in Singapore as my clients. Why? Because this is not illegal. If it is illegal, they would have left very early already. And I have top professionals as my clients, people like James C., people like a few other people. Why? Because these top professionals know that they cannot get another product that is high yield, liquid, and secured in the market. This is the best product that is available at this period of time right now. And it's only going to be around for the next few years until I public list. And once I public list, I will not be doing private loans anymore. Okay, so this is for that limited few years. So we have come to a session where we end the presentation, and we are now going for the Q&A session. So any of you got any questions? Yes, please.
Just now you showed that payout for the 1.260 million.
Mm.
Would you mind to show us your live trading account,
Mm-hmm.
P&L account that you have more than that?
1.2 million is my payout liability. Yes.
So your gain must be more than that.
Yes.
Would you mind to show us?
My gain is more than that. Okay, sure. You're talking about my trading journal, right?
Yeah, your CMC.
Okay. So this is maybe this is something easy to show. Can you see that? This is my trading journal. So this is my trading journal as of 15th of June, and it's actually extracted from my CMC statements.
Yeah, I know this is your own compound statement. Can you show your CMC statement?
CMC statement I can show, but it's a bit. It's actually like that now, but it's very not many people know how to see the results, and it's a bit sensitive, It's a bit sensitive, so I don't show the latest one. Yeah, and the CMC trading console is here, You can see 37.18 million. Sorry. Yes, which is the trading journal, right? So this trading journal shows my compounded gains and my daily gains. You can see that. And you can roughly see that it's not a profitable session. One session can be one trade, can be a few hundred trades. So it's quite impossible for you to see everything. Yeah.
And you say that you just use a fraction of your fund.
Yes, I use fractional trading. That means fractional trading is out of 100%, I use a 5% to look for 0.5% profitability.
So let's say you use 5%.
Yes.
In order for you to pay out 4%, so your average gain is how many percent? Let me see.
I do 12.5% plus or minus potential a month, because we're talking about 25. If you pay attention to the video just now, we're talking about 25 times 0.5% potential gain. So that's 12.5% plus or minus. And true enough, if you see the trading performance is between 5 point something to 16 plus percent a month.
But let's say you use 25% in order to pay out 4%.
I'm not using 5% to pay out. I'm using 5% to look for 0.5% profitability.
Correct. What do you need to pay out for 4 point something percent of your total fund 27 years?
Yes, but I got 12.5% to pay out from. Liao Q baller.
But not enough, right? Not enough. 12.5%
Not enough to pay for, me? You understand mathematics or not? Okay, one more time, for the sake of understanding. I use 100%, but out of 100%, only risk 5% to look for 0.5% profitability. So one trading session is 0.5%. I have 20 to 25 trading sessions a month. 25 times 0.5 is 12.5%. So I would say, if all my trading session is profitable, it will be 25 times 0.5%, which is 12.5%. Potential profit.
12.5% of the 5%.
Yes. No, 12.5% of the 100%. If you are paying attention, so far everyone understands except you. You understand or not? It's mathematics. Cannot go wrong, man. Okay? So 12.5%, my liability is 4%. So that's how I make money. Yes?
Kenneth, I'm personally a private banker.
Yes.
Private bank for the last 15 years.
Yes.
Just referring to euro dollar.
Yes.
The move in the last 5 days, the dollar went from 118 to 150. That move was not caught up by Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Credit Suisse, UBS. How do you get those moves?
The trading industry right now, if we were to approach trading firms, and I know trading firms very well. I have a family office of 7 traders. they are trading my company's money. They are not touching the 27 million. Their annualized gain is only 34%. Okay, whereas my annualized gain, if you take minimum 5 times 12, 60%. If you take 16 times 12, it's more than 100, 200%. That's because I'm a private trader. Okay, I have less inhibition and layering above me. Whereas in a private bank, even in my family office, they have to ask my chief trader, oh, can do this, cannot, by the time the opportunity is gone.
And where is the source of information?
I do extensive technical and fundamental analysis. My technical analysis are from the charts from third-party softwares like TradingView, Bloomberg, Reuters, and I do extensive fundamental analysis from Reuters and Bloomberg. Right? So this is manual trading, and very conservative. We're using 5% to look for 0.5% gain. That's all. Any other questions? We need to wrap up soon. Yes, please.
That means you are trading alone.
Yes.
What happens if you fall ill?
If you fall ill quickly, I won't die immediately. If you better pray that I die immediately. If I die immediately, you're covered. If I don't die immediately, if you see me, you quickly do ET, early termination, right?
So that means you are the only so-called
Yes, that is the key man risk lah. But then again, it's only for that next 3 years. And this deal, I mean, key man risk. I mean, there's no free cheese in the world. There's nothing guaranteed in this world. If you want high yield, you take this risk with me. But I securitize it. If shit happens, touch wood, I'm not planning to die. Touch wood. If I die, you get your capital protection. If I don't, let's make money together. Okay? Yeah, you can invest in me, but you're actually my creditor. You're not my investor. So currently, I'm a forex trader, but my 7 traders include oil traders, portfolio traders, commodity. We have a commodity fund and other things, but that one is the company side. Nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with this session right now. So I need you all to be very clear because MAS is very strict with rules and regulation. As a private trader, I'm not allowed to trade for anyone, full stop. Okay? Any other questions before we move to the next session? Yes, please. It is not an investment, it is a loan, yeah? Yes. Yes, 50K and above, it will be, you can stand a chance to become a nominee beneficiary. I will sign a document to make it that. Anything less than 50,000, you are also covered, but it's under Singapore estate. That means it's a different arrangement. Under nominee beneficiary, if I die immediately, you get the check from the insurance company. But if less than 50,000, what happens is you got to wait for my lawyers to consolidate my asset, and then read the probate and the will, and then get my assets to be discharged to my creditors before my family gets it. Right? So it's a different thing. It would take maybe a few months more. And if there's a big fight, maybe a few years. Let's pray no fight now. And I'm happy to let you all know I stay single because of your, so that there won't be a nasty wife to go and ask for money and all those things. Okay. Any other questions before we go to the next session? If don't have, we will conclude today's session, and let's go to the next session, which is the signing of the books. Okay. Join me. Thank you so much.